Hello, hello, welcome, my brothers. Welcome back to the Savage Gentleman, where today we're diving into the transformative practice of mentoring, a fundamental aspect of biblical masculinity. I am your host, Pastor Benjamin Wilson, and in this episode, we will unpack the vital role of mentoring, or the vital role of mentoring and the role that it plays in nurturing the spiritual and moral growth of both the mentor and the mentee. In our contemporary society, men often encounter significant challenges when it comes to mentoring. The rapid pace of life, the prevalence of digital communication, and a culture that often prioritizes individual success over communal growth can make it difficult for men to engage in meaningful mentorship relationships. Additionally, there is a pervasive misconception that seeking or offering guidance is a sign of weakness, which can deter men from stepping into mentoring roles. Despite these challenges, the call to mentor is a clear scriptural mandate that embodies the essence of leading and nurturing as Christ did. This episode aims to cut through the noise of modern misconceptions and highlight the biblical foundations of mentorship. Over the course of the next few minutes, we will explore how mentoring not only fosters personal and communal growth, but also strengthens the fabric of our churches and communities by ensuring the continuity of sound Christian values and practices. We'll tackle the common hurdles men face in establishing and maintaining mentoring relationships and provide practical advice on how to overcome these challenges by revisiting the teachings of Proverbs and the examples set by Paul, Elijah, and Moses. We will be inspired to embrace the role of a mentor, demonstrating demonstrating how this can be a powerful expression of biblical masculinity, especially in today's world. Let's dive into this as we look to see how mentoring can be a fulfilling way to pass on wisdom, experience, and knowledge, as well as how it aligns perfectly with living out biblical masculinity amidst the complexities of modern culture. Mentoring within the biblical context transcends typical teaching or coaching relationships by embodying a deeper spiritual kinship. This form of guidance combines sharing knowledge with fostering personal development, deeply rooted in Christian discipleship. It's about more than just transferring information. It's about transforming lives through shared experiences and heartfelt guidance. True mentoring involves an ongoing commitment where both mentor and mentee engage in a journey of mutual growth and learning, underpinned by scriptural wisdom and prayer. A lot of times when we think about the mentor and mentee relationship, we often think of how the mentee is the one that is receiving the majority of the growth and the majority of the learning. They are the ones that are being poured into. But I want to challenge that thought. When we are talking about genuine mentor mentee relationships, that mentoring connection, both the mentor and the mentee experience growth and learning in different ways, but they are able to, while one is being mentored, the other that is mentoring is also receiving. They're also being poured into. There is a mutual growth and learning. This relationship empowers the mentee to navigate life's complexities, not in isolation, but accompanied by someone who exemplifies Christ-like maturity and wisdom. Check this out. The mentor fulfills a critical role modeled by Jesus and his disciples, one that is essential for the nurturing and perpetuation of faith within the community. I want to look at a couple of verses, and we do this so you all know that we're going to look at a couple of verses and speak about how they are relevant to this topic. And the topic again today is mentoring others, and how it relates to biblical masculinity and living out biblical masculinity in today's society. The first verse is Proverbs 27:17. And you all as men are very familiar with this, I am sure. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. This proverb is a profound metaphor for the mentorship process, highlighting the dynamic and reciprocal nature of these relationships. Just as sharpening iron improves its function, human interactions with a mentoring context enhance understanding, character, and faithfulness. This engagement is not passive. It is not passive. It requires active and intentional contribution from both parties. The mentor challenges and encourages the mentee while also gaining insights and personal growth through the mentee's perspectives and experiences. This mutual enhancement is crucial for sustaining spiritual vitality and promoting continuous growth. It reminds us that mentorship is not a one-way street, but a collaborative journey that benefits both individuals, refining their faith and sharpening their Christian witness in the world. Excuse me, I need to grab a drink of water real quick. All right. The second verse is 2 Timothy 2:2. This is going to be easy to remember. 2 Timothy 2:2. 2 Timothy, the second chapter and the second verse. And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. Let me read that one more time because this is vital, not just in living out biblical masculinity, but in every area of our life, which is a part of biblical masculinity. 2 Timothy 2, chapter 2, verse 2. And the things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. Paul's directive to Timothy here underlines the very strategic and intentional nature of biblical mentorship. It's about cultivating a legacy of faith through careful, deliberate investment in those who demonstrate the capacity and commitment to further propagate the gospel. This approach ensures that the teachings of Christ don't merely survive, but thrive and multiply through successive generations. By entrusting the gospel to faithful individuals, Paul highlights an essential aspect of mentoring: selection and preparation. The mentor must discern The mentor must discern not only who is ready to learn, but also who is likely to teach, thereby extending the reach of their mentorship far beyond their immediate influence. This layered approach to discipleship reinforces the importance of foresight and planning in mentoring, ensuring that the spiritual and doctrinal integrity of the church is maintained across ages. Bringing these two scriptural insights together, we see a powerful framework of understanding the role of mentoring in today's world. Proverbs 27:17 challenges us to engage in relationships that are truly transformational and not merely transactional. It calls for a level of vulnerability and commitment that goes beyond superficial interactions, promoting deep, meaningful connections that foster spiritual and personal growth. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2 provides a strategic model for ensuring the longevity of Christian teachings, emphasizing the importance of intentional discipleship and the replication of faithful leaders. In our modern context, these principles are more relevant than ever. They compel us to look beyond our individual pursuits to consider how we can contribute to the growth and resilience of the broader Christian community. By engaging in mentoring, we participate in a timeless and proven method of building up the church and ensuring that foundational Christian values and practices are not only preserved, but also thriving. Through mentoring, we actively participate in fulfilling Christ's great commission, making disciples who are equipped to navigate the complexities of the world while holding firm to their faith and making disciples. This concept of mentoring is deeply woven into the fabric of biblical masculinity, reflecting the robust character of leadership qualities that scripture upholds for men. Biblical masculinity isn't just about personal strength and leadership. Biblical masculinity is not just about personal strength and leadership. It's about fostering growth, wisdom, and resilience in others, qualities that are quintessential to effective mentorship. By engaging in mentorship, men embody the scriptural call to lead by serving, reflecting Jesus's example and his model of discipleship that prioritizes relational depth and transformative guidance. Mentoring provides a platform for men to practice and propagate virtues such as patience, wisdom, and even humility. These are not just inherent traits, but are cultivated through the consistent practice of guiding others. Such interactions challenge men to live out their faith authentically and provide a living testament to the values they espouse. This dynamic enhances not only the mentee's spiritual and personal development, but also reinforces the mentor's commitment to these principles, creating a cycle of continuous spiritual maturity and ethical leadership within our community. Mentoring aligns with biblical masculinity by promoting accountability and mutual respect. These components are at the marrow of Christian relationships. It encourages a transparent and open environment where both mentor and mentee can confront and navigate their weaknesses and strengths under the umbrella of grace and mutual support and mutual respect. That is key. Mutual support and respect, especially when you come to the place of confronting and navigating weaknesses and strength. This alignment with biblical directives fosters a stronger, more cohesive Christian community where men are not isolated in their struggles or even their achievements, but are integral parts of a collective journey towards Christ likeness. Paul and Timothy are a great example of a mentoring relationship. Paul's mentorship of Timothy is one of the most illustrious examples of biblical mentoring, encapsulating the transfer of wisdom and nurturing of potential. As Paul's spiritual son, uh, Timothy received not only knowledge and pastoral training, but also personal letters filled with encouragement, warnings, and godly advice. This relationship highlights the importance of emotional and spiritual support and mentorship, showing how Paul prepared Timothy for leadership with a deep understanding of both the joys and the challenges of ministry. The letters to Timothy in the New Testament provide timeless guidance on how mentors can equip their mentees for service and leadership, emphasizing faith, purity, and perseverance. There's another relationship, mentor relationship that we can find and see in Elijah and Elisha. This mentorship between the two of them showcases the significance of imparting spiritual authority and prophetic gifts. Before Elijah was taken up to heaven, Elisha requested a double portion of Elijah's spirit, an example of a mentee's desire to not just continue, but to expand the mentor's work. Elijah's response and the subsequent transfer of his prophetic mantle to Elisha illustrate how biblical mentorship involves preparing the next generation to surpass the previous one, embodying the principle that each generation should grow stronger and more faithful than the last. Then let's look at one that's way in the Old Testament. Moses and Joshua. Moses mentored Joshua not only through direct instruction, but by providing opportunities for leadership and decision making. From military engagements to spiritual encounters, Joshua was given increasing responsibilities under Moses' guidance. This mentorship culminated in Joshua's leadership over Israel after Moses' death, a transition that underscores the effectiveness of mentorship in preparing Joshua to lead the people both in warfare and in worship. Their relationship exemplifies how mentorship is in biblical masculinity involves preparing others not just to follow, but to lead, ensuring the continuation and strengthening of godly leadership across generations. The mentorship relationships between Paul and Timothy, Elijah and Elisha, and Moses and Joshua each uniquely underscore the profound impact that mentoring can have on both the mentor and the mentee. These relationships exemplify how biblical mentorship extends beyond mere knowledge transfer. It's about empowering another to grow in faith, character, and leadership capabilities. For men today, for us today, these scriptural narratives provide valuable lessons on the importance of nurturing the next generation with care, wisdom, and intentional discipleship. By putting these lessons into practice, men can strengthen their communities and ensure that godly virtues and leadership qualities are passed down, fostering a legacy of faith that endures through challenges and changes. Brothers, having explored these rich examples of mentorship in scripture, I want to make a quick transition or a slight or not, yeah, a quick transition to understanding how these principles can be proactively and practically applied in our lives today. I'm going to share with you practical implications that not only align with the scriptural foundations that we've discussed, align with the or are pulled from the mentorship relationships that we just looked at, as well as others in the Bible. But they also address how modern men, how we today can engage in mentoring with intentionality and effectiveness. There are three things I want to share here. The first, excuse me, is oh, excuse me. Um, oh wait, I need to drink of water. A lot of these you're going to look at and you're going to see how they are relating to some of the other things that we discussed in previous episodes. The first thing, first way to practically, first practical implication of mentoring others and how it relates to, or how we as men today can engage in mentoring with intentionality and effectiveness is this: advocating for justice. In mentoring, advocating for justice involves guiding mentees to understand and act upon just principles, both in personal situations and broader societal issues. This can be implemented by discussing real world scenarios that challenge ethical thinking and by encouraging mentees to participate in community service projects that promote equity and righteousness. Facing challenges. That's the second one, facing challenges. Mentors should prepare mentees to face life's inevitable challenges by sharing their own experiences and the lessons learned. This can include setting up scenarios that require problem solving, providing resources and resource for spiritual and emotional resilience, and being available to discuss and navigate through tough decisions, thus equipping them with the tools to handle every adversity. And the third practical implication is leading by example. This is crucial in mentoring and involves demonstrating the values and behaviors that mentors wish to instill in their mentees. Implementing this can involve deliberate modeling of positive behaviors such as integrity, punctuality, and responsibility in everyday actions. Additionally, allowing mentees to observe how challenges are handled can teach them effective leadership and decision-making skills. Leading by example, facing challenges, and advocating for justice. By embracing and integrating these practical implications into their mentoring relationships, men can profoundly influence and shape the lives of their mentees, contributing to a vibrant, resilient, and faithful community. Brothers, as we wrap up this episode, I want us to look at how these things kind of solidify our commitment to this vital practice. And I want to do this through a practical, tangible challenge. Mentoring, as we discussed, is not merely about imparting knowledge, but about fostering a deeper relationship. Fostering a deeper relational and spiritual growth. And one of the things that I want us to look at is how do we prepare both ourselves and our mentees to navigate with wisdom, to navigate life with wisdom, resilience, and faith. And so here is some of the things I want to lay out. First of all, identifying a mentor. The first step to embracing the role of a mentor is to identify a mentee. Look for someone who demonstrates a genuine desire to grow and who shares core values that align with biblical teachings. This could be a younger member in your church, a colleague, or even a friend who has shown interest in deepening their spiritual life or leadership skills. It's important to choose someone with whom you have a natural rapport, and mutual respect, as this will, excuse me, as this will lay a strong foundation for effective mentoring. Now we want to look at the challenge. Reach out to that individual. Reach out to the one you have identified and express your interest in mentoring them. Offer to meet regularly, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, to share insights, experiences, and guidance. Ensure these sessions are structured with clear objectives, but also leave room open for organic discussions that allow your mentor to express their concerns and aspirations. Brothers, in doing this and engaging in this kind of mentorship challenge, it holds a profound benefit for both you and the person you are mentoring. As a mentor, you have the opportunity to refine your leadership skills, enhance your understanding through teaching and gain fresh perspectives, which will lead you to being more innovative in the different areas of your life. For the mentee, the benefits include receiving personalized guidance, gaining practical life and spiritual insights, and building confidence in their abilities and capabilities. Together, you will forge a relationship that encourages mutual growth and strengthens your walk with Christ. Throughout this episode, brothers, we have explored how mentorship is a core component of biblical masculinity, reflecting the values of justice, courage, and leadership exemplified by biblical figures like Paul, Elijah, and Moses. We've seen and heard how mentorship not only impacts individuals, but also nourishes the broader Christian community by ensuring the continuity of sound Christian practices and values. I want to thank you today for joining me. As you step forward to embrace the challenge of mentorship, as we shared just recently or just previously, remember the words of Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Let this wisdom guide you as you seek to be a mentor who not only imparts knowledge, but also inspires change. Brothers, be savage in your pursuit of growth, be gentle in your guidance, and extraordinary in your impact. Through the next time, be savage, be gentle, be extraordinary.